Hi guys, welcome back to the Monkeyscrolls podcast. This is Caleb,
This is Kiefer.
I'm Joe.
and this week we did the unthinkable and watched Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It's a personal favorite movie of mine, and I'm glad I got to share it with my friends. It's the follow-up film to the hyper-successful original Mortal Kombat movie, which I, to this day, think is the best video game movie ever made, but it's definitely up in the top 5. The sequel, not so much. They basically really liked making money, so what they decided to do is just shit out a sequel as fast as they could, and they lost writers, actors, and a whole bunch of people in the process, and genuinely made a wonderful piece of garbage.
When you say they lost them, do you mean they actually died?
No, people read the script and said, fuck that, I'm not doing this movie.
So another thing you say is it was shit out as fast as they could.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
They
But
wanted to turn that shit around.
but it came out like 2 years later.
Oh, but I'm talking about when they I think the development cycle was pretty short. I think they just ran out as much stuff as they could as fast as they could.
They just were like, "Oh my god, all this money, let's get it out now."
Oh yeah.
I don't know. You really think they rushed the script?
I thought it was pretty perfect.
So I'm just gonna start off with this movie was not. What did you said? Unbelievable? What did you say? You said some.
Oh, we did
bullshit.
the unbelievable, yeah, and watched
No,
this movie.
this movie was unforgivable. It caused me physical pain. It was only an hour and a half, and I had to take breaks to watch this movie. I watched it in like 10, 15-minute chunks.
Too bad you will die.
I was hoping for it, honestly. This was so terrible. I can't believe how bad it was. And I've watched this before, but I mean, my 8-year-old brain didn't analyze movies. It was just something on. I was like, oh, the robots from the game I play. The music was crazy, but it wasn't bad, and that's the only good thing I can say.
The music is pretty bumping.
That's the only thing I've got.
But just like every scene that happens, it feels like it was made by like high school kids who just got their first camera. The effects are trash. There's like 3 or 4 times Raiden and Shao Kahn have like a Dragon Ball Z like energy ball fight, and it looks like absolute hot trash. The poor guy playing Motaro, it looks like they made him actually like attach like a horse body to him, but like
looks like they really made him a horse.
Like, there's a scene that stands out distinctly in my mind where it's what's the screaming chick? Sindel. So she's doing her like banshee scream because like that's what she does in the game. She screams because she's, but she is doing it and spinning in a circle, and instead of like making it, doing a digital thing where it looks like she's spinning through like magic or something, which would make sense for a magical, witch creature woman thing. They just zoom out and she's just on her tippy toes walking herself in a circle.
Okay, so think about this. So there's this part with Sindel where she's screaming at this building and it's blowing up all the walls of this entire ancient temple, right?
Explosions.
Right after that, they run into her in Outworld the Fighter, and you hear her scream from behind them when they can't see. Imagine if she just blew up all the heroes.
It was so weird because this happens multiple times. The enemy is standing behind them, and they go, "Rah!" And then the good guys turn, and then they're like, "Oh, there's the bad guy." For no reason, she's standing behind them, and they're surrounded by ninjas, and they don't even know they're there. And she goes, "Rah!" And they all turn around, and like, "Oh, it's Sheila." It was like Power Rangers, like the enemy jumping into the frame from off camera. It was just so weird. Everything was weird. I'm almost speechless because there was nothing done correctly.
No, it's
Okay,
almost like they
so-
filmed this in a weekend.
Yeah, it felt that way. And you know what makes me think that that's maybe what they did? There were weird pauses in the dialogue, as if somebody was off camera holding flashcards and they had to flip between them. Like when Shao Kahn is just like, destroy everything. Too bad you flip the flashcard will die. Like over and over. There's just weird pauses. I see it a lot with Raiden. Everything Raiden said had a weird cadence to it. I didn't understand why they were talking weird. Because I can forgive a lot, but I couldn't overlook it. It was
Dude, your
so
cue card
distracting.
theory is pretty good.
What?
Your cue card theory is pretty good, I think.
I think that explains it. But I mean, I could be wrong. It could have just been bad script or directing or something. I don't know.
I mean, even if they had like not talk like fucking idiots, the script was still trash.
100%.
Oh my god, this
So,
was
so, so what about
Most of this is gonna be me laughing, guys, because
so what about the script was even bad? They have a clear motivation. Each character has their own psychological journey they need to undertake. And there's these magic fucking spinning balls that operate on heat.
okay.
Why?
So two of those things you described are plot, not script. The plot,
Suckers.
there's like a direction and everything, but the words the balls that you're talking about come out of nowhere. It's never like, oh, we can use these hyperspeed balls to travel. They just like, and now we're in the Earth's crust and we can use these to travel. And you're like, what?
Those aren't even in the games.
Yeah.
They're just like lean to your left.
Yeah. These
What happens if they just fucking die? Movie
these
over.
fucking underground balls that they spent thousands of years, I'm assuming, making tunnels under the ground, and to turn they have to like, all right, hold me tight. And I'm like, what is going on? What is this shit?
Katana.
What was everybody's sexual fascination with Jade?
Everyone was in love with Jade. She was the
The
hottest
moment
fucking
Jade
thing
gets
ever.
on camera, everyone goes stupid, and they're just like, "Who's that hot bag of sex right there?" Even Raiden.
Yeah, even
Everybody.
Raiden's like, she fight as good as she look. It's like, Raiden, you've been a human for 5 minutes. You're already fucking popping chubs on screen.
Dude, just fucking Liu Kang and Jax too are like, they might as well have been rock hard the whole time. Every time they look at her, she kind of hot there, huh? What do you think?
It
My
was
name's
odd
Jackson Briggs.
because it's not like she's the only girl on set. There are lots of actresses, and there's like, you know what? Jade is the sex object. Every line of dialogue surrounding her has to be related to how hot she is. It's just awkward.
And then
It's
never
super
mind
awkward.
the fact that she's a Judas.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
I mean, it's like they could have at least explained
Trade
like,
our friend.
oh, she did like a spell on all these people because that's how she got in with them. No, it's not like it. That doesn't ever. It doesn't happen like that. She just kind of shows up, and Liu Kang's like, "Are you real in the snow?"
And that's her character was
Yes, the desert
bad.
snow.
It was bad in so many ways because she starts off as the bad guy and they fight, and then she's about to lose and she says, "Oh, you passed the test. I'm a good guy." And then she says, I was actually a bad guy still. You were wrong to think I told you the right thing twice."
You idiots trusted someone you just met.
Dude. So she tells him to stop, like, you passed the test, and Liu Kang too, because he goes and meets Nightwolf for like 3 seconds. This game
Oh,
really was just like,
God.
let's get all the characters we can that from the games in. We'll just do them all. And
Let's
fucking
get the ghost of Brandon Lee to play Nightwolf.
right. And Nightwolf is like, you must pass 3 because he's doing a stereotypical Indian voice. It's like the most crazy thing I've ever seen. Just you
Was
must pass
Raiden trying to
3
do it too?
tests. I don't know what Raiden was doing. You know what's fucked up too is like Raiden is like an actual actor. Like James Remar has like been in things. He was the dad in fucking Dexter.
Yeah, he was helping Liu Kang with his Dark Passenger as that dragon, dude.
And he just
It's a
shows up
miracle.
in this movie as Raiden, acting like he's never been in a movie before.
Yeah, it's a miracle he did anything ever again after this.
They really like ham-fisted like let's get every character we can. Because they do all the the cybernetic ninjas. They do all them. They do like 3 or 4 like different other ninjas. I think they had what like rain and smoke in there and shit.
Cyrax and Smoke.
They didn't do Sector, the bastards. But they
Baraka was in
gave Smoke
this?
missiles. That was weird. Baraka was he's the one swinging around the
Oh,
chains.
dude, Baraka had the worst costume. Most of these costumes, by the way, looked like they picked them up out of Spirit Halloween.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were so bad that it spawned Spirit Halloween. I was like, oh, the bar for entry is low on costumes. Have you seen Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Dude,
Baraka was wearing a tablecloth and a horrible mask. I don't know.
so
It was so bad.
Linda
How
was
would you
laughing
play
because
it?
she was saying it was just a baseball tee that he had on.
Yeah, it was terrible. Bright white and red in like this hellish dungeon, and he's wearing, I don't know, it looked like a gremlin mask with the ears cut off,
Dude,
and
you guys,
it was just horrifying how little effort they put into any of this. The
I sent a
ninjas,
link to the chat. You guys got to look at, by the way, whenever you get a chance.
it's a link to all the actors, the cast.
Look how bad everyone looks. I feel like everyone was cursed from being in this movie.
One of these
Look at the way-
guys is
Look at
only a
Jade and Shao
picture.
Kahn next to each other.
Like one of these guys is only a picture from this movie.
Well, that guy peaked for sure.
Like, did
Side
he
note,
die?
the guy who played Nightwolf is totally the Indian in the cupboard.
Oh my god.
Pretty cool, huh?
I
Yeah.
found
It's my
that.
animality.
Dude, animality. I must find
It's
my
my
animality.
Yeah, Nighthawk shows up just, or is it Nighthawk or Nightwolf?
Nightwolf.
Nightwolf shows up just as a plot device to explain animalities so that when they do it later, it's not out of the complete blue. But the way he does it is ridiculous. It's like in conversation, and he's like, he just morphs from this disgusting monster. I think, I mean, it's supposed to be a wolf. I don't know if that's what it actually looked like to anyone with eyes, but he's
No.
like, pretty cool, huh? That was my animality. And, and
Well,
it
that's
was
a slow way.
disgusting.
Dude, it looked good, bro.
It looked
Okay,
better
let's
than the
talk about
CG
the
later.
CG in this movie. 10 out of 10. Okay, so first off, you remember we're talking about Nightwolf. Let's talk about the real monsters. What about that giant monster that popped out and tried to eat Sonya? And
What
then
was
came back
that?
later and burped. You don't remember that thing?
I remember it, but what was it?
Never been in a game before.
Never.
They just were like, here's the fucking, here's Clown from Spawn chasing him around, you know?
Yeah, I mean, in a game with a cast of 1,000 characters, why did they choose to invent a weird monster for the movie?
It was really ugly. The CG in this movie is bad even by like 1997 standards. And I know you can't hold every movie in the 90s compared to like T2, but like the technology was out there.
Well, it's got a $30 million budget. The movie before it had got $70 million at box office. And I don't like Mortal Kombat 1. I know you jack off to it, Caleb, but
I love that movie.
it's a way, like, I'll watch Mortal Kombat 1 anytime over this, like hands down, just because that's at least so bad it's good. It's like fun to watch. This was just a painful slog through a terribly written script, terribly acted by terrible actors that shouldn't ever have jobs again.
I agree with everything you said. And
It-
an example I'd like to show is the cheese that I can enjoy from one is where Johnny Cage says, "You broke my $100 pair of glasses," or whatever he says, and it pumps him up for a fight, and that's funny to me. And this one, there was nothing redeeming about anything they were trying to do with the dialogue. Like everything Jax said was cringy,
yeah.
shouldn't have been said. Scorpion only says one thing in the game, which is "get over here," so they use that, and then he was out of dialogue. He just said "suckers."
That's my favorite part. Just suckers.
It was just nothing good to say about it.
Does Scorpion even say "get over here" in the game anymore?
He does.
Does he?
They kept it. Yeah.
Okay, because I mean, it's kind of
it's
stupid,
stupid,
but
yeah.
in like a 2-minute fight, it's kind of fun. All right, but that's the only thing he's known for saying. So that's every time they show him in anything, that's what he says. Says "get over here." And I think more often than not, in both the movies, he misses with the stupid fucking kunai thing that he throws.
He never gets anybody.
He never. Sub-Zero
Well, because
shows up,
it's a-
some fucking Sub-Zero guy, and he's like, "That was my brother that you defeated," and then he's gone. Where did he go?
Yeah.
Sub-Zero
yeah.
just popped out to be in the movie.
His costume also didn't fit right. His mask was like falling off his face. All the costumes, I can't get over how bad they were.
One thing that Linda pointed out that was pretty great was how skinny the robot dudes were under their costume. And how like half the people in this movie didn't even look like buff or like they could fight. Sub-Zero's another
people who could semi move around, because they did attempt fight scenes. They did try to do action.
Yeah, the fight scenes in the first one were good. These ones not so much.
No, what they like took a huge nosedive.
This one's like 90% just front flips, right?
Yeah,
90% was just front flipping through the air on a rig that is, I mean, you might as well just be able to see it, because they weren't natural front flips. They were front flips over distances that the actors could have normally just jumped, like 3 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And they insisted on just flipping them through the air. It was ridiculous.
Do you remember the one of the multiple times that Raiden and Shao Kahn are like gonna fight each other, and they both like jump, and it shows them in slow motion jumping, and they're like bowing their body, but like in, you know, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, right at the beginning,
like without a visual reference, but you know exactly what I mean. And it was just like, you slow mode that? What's going on?
At each other, dude.
Yeah, a lot of the movie was just bad camera work for no reason.
Did anyone interesting work on this movie? I'm trying to see the director. I'm gonna see if he's directed anything else.
Dude, Annabelle, The
he
Conjuring.
Butterfly Effect too.
Those are good movies.
Oh, he's Wolves at the Door, so he's doing horror movies now, which are cheap. And
he started his horror movie career with Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
he did a lot of cinematography. He worked on the original Mortal Kombat. There you go. There's your connection.
But the director for the original Mortal Kombat was Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh, so an actual person who knew how to direct.
Yeah, who would later go on to marry the skinny woman in the first Resident Evil movie, and then make 5 more semi-pornographic movies of Resident Evil with his wife.
Did you just refer to did you just refer to Mia Jovovich as the skinny woman from Resident Evil?
Yeah, I know she was skinny in that other Bruce Willis Die Hard movie or whatever, but she's also skinny in this. Just for everybody out there, I do know that The Fifth Element's a good movie. I understand the sin that I've created, but I was trying to keep it in theme.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, he totally like went on to marry her and then just film her in Resident Evil movies for like 10 years, which I always thought was weird. Oh, he's doing Monster Hunter with her in it too? I'll bet you anything she's wearing some kind of latex and jumping.
Yeah, probably.
Low-key, I'm very excited for Resident Evil to get rebooted, but that's another topic for another day.
Today we're talking about Mortal Kombat.
And Mortal Kombat's getting rebooted. That's good news.
I don't have
Is
very
it?
high hopes.
I do, yeah. It's getting rebooted, and I think the cast looks really good, actually.
I mean,
Like-
is it good news? We've seen the first two.
The first one's good.
The first one's
It's okay.
So, Ludi Lin, the Black Ranger from the Power Rangers reboot, is playing Liu Kang. We got... Who else is on here? McCad Brooks, who I know from Supergirl, is playing Jax, and he looks jacked. So those are two good things. That's it. That's the end of my spiel.
Did they?
But yeah, we could talk about the movie we're currently talking about, I guess. So we talked about all of our favorite parts and the scenes that we loved. Let's get to would you recommend this movie and then the ratings.
You pick who you want to give the first rating.
So I will go with Joe.
I'm gonna give this movie a 0 out of 1,000. I think of the lowest number you can think of, and that's what I would give this movie. I said it earlier. This movie, it literally caused me physical pain to watch. I had a headache from watching it. It was terrible. Anyone that worked in this movie should never have a career again. Ed Boon and John Tobias, in separate interviews, said this was the worst moment in their history. Though, if you don't know who John Tobias and Ed Boon are, they made the Mortal Kombat video games. They were part of the team that made those, and they regret this movie existing. The story makes no sense. The acting and script are terrible, and the CG. What exists is I think I could make better in Blender on a weekend. So don't watch this. If someone makes you watch this, it's probably against some type of Geneva Convention. Next.
All right. It was a movie, and it told a story, but it was terrible. So I give it 0. It did something, so I have to give it a 1 out of 5. Hard to recommend this to anybody with eyes or ears. I can't do it. This is really, really bad. Caleb, is your rating any different than mine and Joe's? Do you have some nostalgia?
Okay, so I have nostalgia, so we're gonna do this two ways. We're gonna do one way, my objective rating that only has to do with facts and not fiction. It's probably like a 1.5 out of 5, or like a 2 out of 10, maybe somewhere around there.
Okay.
Lucky. The Calebometer has this at a 10 out of 10. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a 7-year-old with a box of Sour Patch Kids and a giant soda hopping around a movie theater in 1997 that liked this movie. So that was me. So Calebometer, 10 out of 10. Would recommend. I'd probably show your grandmother against her will. But objectively, I'd only show you this if I wanted to hurt you. And that's why I showed it to my friends.
Thank you.
Yeah. So with that, we're pretty much done. Thank you everybody for stopping in and checking it out. Before we get off, I think Kiefer's next. Kiefer, did you know what movie you wanted to watch next?
I do. I want to watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh. Okay.
Classic.
It's not a holiday movie, but it's a movie I watch on the holidays.
Mhm.
So it's one of those things where it's a holiday movie for me. Did I say Willy Wonka?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm talking about the 1971, not
Yeah.
not the other one.
Yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the most recent Tim Burton one.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
not watching that.
We watching the True Blue one. Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
it's-
that's going to be a whole lot of fun. We'll definitely try to get that out soon. Obviously, this podcast is coming out a little bit later than our other ones. That's mostly due to me being in a food coma for a 4-day weekend.
Yeah,
So,
it's the holiday.
yeah, pretty sure we all died. But, thank you guys all for listening and checking out the Monkeyscrolls podcast. If you guys like what you heard, you can subscribe. You can share with your friends. We all have individual and joint Monkeyscrolls Twitters. It's all linked in our descriptions and all that kind of stuff. So you guys want to follow or any of that cool stuff, we'd appreciate it. If not, then I hope you have to watch Mortal Kombat Annihilation every day for the rest of your life. Thanks for checking it out, guys.
Have a good one.
Adios.